First of all, I would like to invite Pınar Emirdağ. She's moderating the panel, whereas Sia from JP Morgan and Clara Dredi from Cognitive Finance Group, Bilge Köroğlu from Yapı Kredi, and they are discussing the impact of AI in financial services. And for your notes, Web3 Summit is happening now at Hall 6, distinguished guests, as well TradeTech Summit at Hall 5. Startup stage is starting in Cancun at 2 p.m. Yes, now, and also I would like to invite Ms. Pınar Emirdağ. Yes, welcome again.
Sure. We need to connect to Sia.
Yes,
Pinar.
Sia Togya is also our other panelists. I think she will come in a minute. Maybe you can start and take the lead.
Sure. So,
while she's preparing for the session. Maybe you
sure.
will need this one.
So you will see we have a very diverse panel. And this is and we didn't really work very hard for this one. It's very hard to find a whole female panel in AI, but I think, no, joking aside, it's just literally, it actually emerged by itself. So it means that we must actually draw some conclusion from this. There are lots of interesting people working on in this field. And I am very, very pleased to be moderating this panel, but also genuinely looking forward to hear from the panelists, because this is a very interesting talent set. You have people who are like literally hands-on working on these things today, here and now, building technologies, AI technologies, working with their counterparts within the organization. So I'm really excited to hear that, and from your experience with GANs here. And Clara, I mean, you have been, this panel, I think, your keynote, I think, really set the stage very, very nicely. And also, I would urge everybody to think about perhaps the bigger picture of the conference as well, and how these concepts, some of the things that Clara has talked about are connected to perhaps the Web3, privacy, and Web2, those kind of conversations, and how do we build the digital finance of the future within these new technologies. So these are all quite connected, and I think it's really important to set the stage that way. So before everything else, hi Sia, by the way, I was there last year, and it was pretty hard to be away and doing this, so know that it's all fine, and you're looking good as well. So why don't you just very briefly introduce yourselves? I mean, Clara, I think we met you, but Bilge, would you like to go ahead and tell us about yourself first?
Hi to all. I am Bilge Köroğlu. I'm the head of Applied Data Science and R&D Department of Yapı Kredi Technology. Yapı Kredi is one of the private banks in Turkey. We are responsible for AI-powered software solutions, develop AI-powered software solutions, as well as integrating these digital solutions to core banking system.
And Sia, would you like to introduce yourself?
Director here at JP Morgan in London. I do applied AI. No.
Okay, we need a little bit more higher volume, I think, no?
Okay. Can you hear me?
I do not know. Can you guys hear her? Sia, can you speak just for...
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you now. That's good.
Okay, I'll make an effort to be a little bit louder.
Okay, cool.
Let's see if that works. Let me know if you can't hear. So yeah, I'm a director at JP Morgan. I do applied AI, so solving real problems with AI. My background is in natural language processing. This is what I did my PhD on. And then I came into the industry. For the last 9 years, I've been working exclusively on natural language processing problems, or mostly. First in biotech, and then I came into finance, and I realized that this is actually the best of both worlds, doing the most exciting thing, AI, in one of the fields where AI is growing the most. So I'm really excited to be here in this space and in this conference, and thanks for the invitation.
Okay, do we have a problem with sound, or am I? Do people in the back, can you hear Sia? Yes? Perfect. Okay, because the sound here is very different than what you are probably hearing. Okay, cool. So in that case, so I will ask you the first question. Really, AI is not that new to the industry. Clara covered that. But last couple of years, I think there is a bit of a change. And what do you think that is for? Like, can you just bring us all like the last year 2 years or so? What happened in the industry from your perspective? Could I ask you, Bilge, first? And
Okay, thank you. The finance industry is quickly changing and rising with the emergence of AI, and the emergence of AI is under the process of development. I will give the details of what has changed during this time, which surprises and excites me a lot during the historical context. With the advent of machine learning algorithms, the trained algorithms which can learn the complex patterns of data has been leading to more accurate predictions. However, the drawback of these trained algorithms is that they are generally black box models. So it means that it is difficult to understand how they make decisions, how they compute the final answer. This is where explainable AI comes in. By using the explainable AI techniques in historical context, we can make sure that it can be possible that machine learning algorithms are more transparent, understandable by the business leaders and policymakers, so that these trained algorithms are acceptable and usable, especially in finance industry.
so that's actually, that is correct. I mean, it sounds like to me, like I've been hearing about explainability more and more in the last couple of years, and it's a very important point and connects with the other topics as well. Sia, what do you think has changed?
Yeah, so I've seen one major trend and a lot of, I would say, underlying trends that could explain this. So the big trend that I see is we're getting more and more ROI from AI, and this is going upwards and upwards. And I think there's a few other trends that could explain this. For example, AI models are getting a lot easier to build. We have frameworks, things like Hugging Face, pre-trained models, open source as well, that we can tap into. The field itself is sharing knowledge really well. Almost nothing in machine learning is behind a paywall, which is pretty amazing. We also have models increasingly that are more powerful and more flexible. And I'll give you the obvious example of large language models here. The bigger they become, the better they become. It's a known equation. You know, it goes upwards. And they're also flexible. You can solve tasks in a way which is much, much simpler than designing a complex kind of neural architecture as we would do, say, 2 years ago, for example. Another thing I think that is really changing for the better is I think the finance industry as a whole is taking AI more seriously. So you see especially big, well-established firms are making bigger and bolder steps to bring together all those things that will enable AI. For example, modernization of legacy infrastructure. Things like ML ops architectures, or in general, staying up to date with what's happening in AI, upskilling people, hiring people. Clara was mentioning before, you cannot have AI without data. Then you need data strategy. Increasingly, you see a lot of efforts being put in that space. You also need good data architecture. Do my data have the right schemas? Do they have the right quality? Are they in the right place? Do they merge kind of in the right way? And of course, governance. I've actually seen, even in the last year, so much more streamlined governance. So it used to be vague. How do you govern, things like large language models? But now you see things are evolving. So I'm actually very optimistic about where AI in finance is going. And I think, all of these trends will I forgot one sub-trend, which I think is important. So me kind of being an applied AI scientist, and manager of a few people, I do see that applied AI methodology is evolving for the better. So it's maturing. If I were to compare it with a few years ago, especially when I finished my PhD kind of almost 10 years ago, AI in the industry was a lot more academic. We would concentrate on solving a problem, data in, decisions out, let's say, and not really understand well enough how to solve real business problems. And now you see this methodology sort of has reached some maturity. We know that we need to talk to the domain experts. We know that we need to understand the problems we are solving. We know that when you evaluate, you have to evaluate in the context of wider systems, in the context of potentially evolving business needs. This methodology was not there. And also what wasn't there a few years ago was the appreciation of actually solving real world problems. I'm saying that kind of as somebody who kind of has come from the AI field. I think you see increasingly people saying, you know what, I don't want to be kind of in front of my laptop all day, just creating the best algorithm imaginable. Yes, some people will have to do that, but a lot of people are a lot more interested in going out there and solving real world problems. So that's a major trend that I think is contributing as well to the increasing ROI we're getting from AI.
Thank you, Sia, for that. And can I ask Clara, I mean, how does it look from your point of view? You mentioned that you talk to boards a lot. How did the board experience change, given all of this?
Well, there are two strands to look at in terms of changes. The first strand is that since last year, March 2023, when ChatGPT-4 was launched, boards in financial services went into an overdrive on AI. I mean, boards' role is to ensure risk oversight amongst other oversight functions. But when it came to AI since last year, they went like caution to the wind, let's just crack on. Lots of risks, but who cares? Because we need to do something about AI. We can't postpone it. Now, these are the companies which left it too late. And because they left it too late, they're rushing into it, and they're making a lot of mistakes. That's going to cost them. Clients we worked with since 2016 have done the groundwork. They're in a very good position to absorb. They have a new, like a solid data infrastructure. They know what they've been doing, it's just pieces are in place. So this is the main strand which I see from the board level down. The second strand that I see is a continuous disconnect between data science teams and business objectives. And I see that disconnect sometimes in some companies it's smaller, in others it's significantly larger. Why is it so important for data science teams to understand the strategies? Because technology has to follow the business strategy. Put it simply, AI has to be selected in order to sustain the business strategy objectives. Things like, do we want to scale our business to how many customers do we want to gain on a yearly basis? 1 million, 2 million, 10 million? Do we want to go to different jurisdictions? So these are business strategy objectives which data scientists need to understand, because when they understand them, they know what kind of technical solutions they go for. Because AI is not all ChatGPT and generative AI. Depending on the task you need to automate, you go and pick the right model that suits your task. So this disconnect continues, and I caution people to work very hard to reduce this disconnect. And in an ideal case, I'd like to see, for instance, with automation in the back office, I'd like to see the back office, head of back office, or chief operating officer being very close to business strategy and working closely not only with a C-suite, not only at the board level, but also with the data science teams. So, yeah.
Yes, a lot to work on. And we need to be very mindful of the controls and risks and privacy.
Oh, yeah. So
that.
that's it's something which it comes with everything, privacy and data protection, and it's risk management overdrive.
I mean, it's actually interesting because it's very clear that there is a lot of work to do, and it's not only technology work.
No,
and
you're absolutely right.
There is going to be a panel on that one. But before we go there, I'd like to actually ask Bilge, what do you think, from your perspective, what are you observing? Where is the change? And what's in your mind?
Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the financial service industry, and it will continue to accelerate in the future. According to Accenture, $140 billion productivity gains and cost savings will be generated by artificial intelligence in 2025. So AI's first impactful, in my opinion, AI first impactful point in financial services, I think that will be the introduction of hyper-personalized recommendation engines on financial services and software products. Because I strongly believe that innovative solutions can also be arise in automated financial industry. Academic articles have studied hyper-personalization in recently. So probably in 5 years, these academic algorithms will be realized in real-time production financial services. So we will use these algorithms in practical life approximately in 5 years. In addition, in the field of insurance, personalized policies can be generated by the algorithms under the umbrella of Gen AI. Also, AI algorithms can also be experimentally studied in quantum computers. I think that AI on quantum computers will focus on financial risk management in the future. One of the most widely studied in quantum use cases is portfolio optimization and financial risk management. In the medium and long term, I think that any financial company will be able to perform risk management on quantum computers with AI algorithms.
Okay, so I think we will need to, can I take a minute or two, because I think we started, yeah, okay. All right, so I think we need to wrap it up. It's just, I'm not quite sure if you had the 30 minutes of panel. Okay, so what I'd like to wrap up with, if we can take a couple of more minutes, like what is,
yes, please
like,
go,
if anybody, yeah, if anybody would like to be involved in this field, I mean, you mentioned quantum computing, music to my heart, it's very interesting, and very frontier as well. I know we're all working on client experiences and so forth. There are a lot of things to work on. But could we wrap up with how would you have the new talent? Like how could people be involved in AI and practically from your perspective, coming from different places?
First of all, I think that they should choose a field for themselves. We know that artificial intelligence is a wide field of technical expertise. However, its subtopics are also very detailed and require different technical competencies. For instance, they should choose a subtopic as computer vision, machine learning on tabular data, graph analytics, etc. In addition, they should take an active role in every routine step of AI-based software projects. including algorithm training, data preparation, evaluating performance tests, and also they should also take an active role on performance metrics. In this way, they should regularly read and follow academic articles as well as open source GitHub projects, so that in the future they can use existing coding structures and also academic articles, so that they can work effectively and efficiently for their future projects. I recommend them to stay close with their business stakeholders while taking an active role in AI-based software development projects, because I think that AI-based software products are realized when human expertise and computing power will work together. So it's very important that having the detailed knowledge of expertise in a specific matter, for instance, finance, will always take the technical person one step further.
Sia, any last advice for people who want to be involved in AI?
I think what Bilge was just saying really resonates with me. People who want to enter the AI space, I think, yes, it's a highly technical field, but it's, if you come from any other technical field, it's kind of, you can consider coming into AI. Three things I would recommend. First, stay close to the domain experts. It's extremely important to understand the use cases. It's important to appreciate the problem you're solving. It's important to understand the data, formalize the problem, pick the right solution for the right problem. Also, decide whether it is an AI problem at all to solve. These are very important things, and also iterate with the domain experts. Second one is, I would say to people, stay close to software engineers. Coding skills really matter when you create real-world AI systems. So these are software, and these need to work. They need to scale. They need to be robust. It is not the same as, coding, for example, for a small academic project or a big academic project. So when you put something in front of users, it needs to follow proper software engineering practices. And the best way to learn good coding practices is by interacting with people. And my third advice would be stay close to people with formal AI training, or at least people that have been doing AI for a while, because I think it's very easy for people sometimes to get overexcited by a lot of the information that exists on the internet, which is very valuable. However, methodology really matters. Understanding and formalizing the problems, as I was saying before, knowing how to evaluate, evaluating end-to-end if AI is only kind of one part of a bigger system. How do you evaluate when business needs are evolving? There's a lot of nuances in AI methodology. So yeah, just to sum up, stay close to domain experts, stay close to software engineers, stay close to AI people with more experience.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I thank, any last word, Clara, and then we'll
Very briefly, 30 seconds. To succeed in this field, which will become, is already, and will continue to be the major part of working in financial services, you have to be intellectually curious. You have to take ownership of your career development, just the way I did it. That's why I told you my story. Just go and learn. There are so many free resources online. That's why in my newsletter, I systematically advise on free courses, things to learn, continue learning. This is not an ending journey, it continues. The second piece of advice, and the final piece of advice, goes to board of directors, owners, founders, people in decision-making roles. Make sure that AI literacy becomes part of your culture, and teach everybody, encourage everybody, from the board of director to the receptionist, to go to data science courses and continue to learn. So that's all for me.
Thank you. This is call to action. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Clara, for your luminous marks and advices as well. Thank you very much to our panelists and our moderator as well. Thank you.